the match that we just had, the third place match, if memory serves me correctly. And here we go into game 2. Ooh, Prodigy finding a whammy, and it looks like he's adopting a strategy that was, I will initially credit to Crab Cakes by simply using 30 seconds or so at the beginning of the race to find stage information.
Yeah, that's right. That's a strategy I also picked up from Crab Cakes. Like, I noticed if you reset fast enough, you can reset while you see the Robot Master drop into the transition screen. See who it is. If you reset fast enough, you can get 3 resets in within 16 seconds and be on your way to your 4th one. It looks like Prodigy stuck. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Whoa.
Wow.
There must have been a Gearobot, one of those gear robots there that made a wall and caused him to zip. I didn't see what the enemy was there.
I have no idea what happened, but oh no.
Appropriate dust stand for this stage.
It was in fact these gear robots. So if you kill the gear and the jester falls, he can create a wall, an invisible wall that you can zip through.
Oh my.
Well,
I think the reset was probably the worst penalty that you could be, given under the circumstances. Normally an unintentional zip would be maybe a 5-10 second penalty at worst. But having to have that reset happen, Prodigy's been set back almost an entire minute before he's able to progress to the boss stage, so ouch.
Yeah, I'd say maybe a minute and a half. Bubble stage is pretty long, and yeah, he lost quite a bit of time.
Yeah, so I would definitely say, regardless, no harm, no foul. As pretty much, he's more or less giving Tom a 2 minutes head start here.
Between the resets costing about 30 seconds, and then that issue causing that unintentional reset, I am definitely not a tournament admin, so I cannot speak for Charlie Boy or LV Creed, whoever happens to be, watching from the sidelines to make sure no violations are taking place.
Well, I'm neither one of them either, but I'll say no harm, no foul. I'll speak for them.
Well,
as much as I
to find
would like to say that.
Anyway,
rules are rules, but
Oh
no! Oh,
get bodied by the crab.
Disaster here.
Tom having a time with that fat fiend there. The toothpaste dispenser. What an interesting combo there.
I don't know. I'd say at this point I'd chalk it up to a bad seed.
Tilt is a thing. It can kind of just happen. Everything's going great. And then that one thing just sort of, for whatever reason, just sets you off. And then, I've had it happen so many times where 30 minutes into a game and everything's going fine. Next thing I know, even in a Magic the Gathering game, much less a speedrun or anything else, the opponent draws that one card that they need at that one time where they could draw it, and you're not prepared for it, and it just blows the match wide open. all told, we do have Prodigy and CasualTom getting to their second boss doors.
Should be.
Almost straight away. And wow, this airman's just like, all right, I was being a pain in the butt in game 1, so...
Oh, we got a Huggles and Woodman stage.
Airman was pretty much free, so both runners were 2 stages down.
And both hit whammies.
Yeah, very much so. Prodigy will have a small advantage in that he can use item 1 not to help with the Yoku blocks in the backside of the stage, but he'll be able to platform with them to help in the front side of the Yoku stage. Whereas CasualTom, unfortunately, well, time to ride the slow elevator up to the top floor.
I'm sensing the theme for Tom suddenly in this match, as the first match, Tom got to crash third with no items. And once again, in this match, third, no items.
Yeah. Once you can chalk up to luck. Twice? Oh no. Now you're starting to develop a pattern, and I don't think it's one that CasualTom would like to continue. Unfortunately, this is about a 30 to 35 second trek, and that was a major difference in the times between our runners in game 1. You know, CasualTom just happening to hit the whammy.
So probably going to get the Heatman's door first. The upside for Tom right now is he will have gotten the 2 longer stages out of the way with both Woodman and Crashman here. Prodigy still has to deal with them, but he will have at least item 1 in tow until we get to those other stages. Gotta be very close. Okay. So down goes Quickman for Prodigy in Heatman's room. Gonna move on to Middleman stage here, looks like. As Tom continues their climb through Crashman stage.
Maybe so, Mayo Rabbit. It is Sunday. Yeah. Might have been time to say your prayers to RNGesus. Here we go. CasualTom at least making it to the end of the stage, which, you know, says something. Looks like Metal Man, who, fairly straightforward in that fight. So CasualTom evening up the playing field at 3 stages apiece.
Yeah, considering Metal Man reacts to how you fire, both runners seem to have mastered this timing of putting their shots out, so then Metal Man is just sitting there to take it in the face like a champ.
Alright, now here we go. CasualTom into the stage that caused Prodigy so much trouble, so a quasi-time gain that could be made for CasualTom here, as Prodigy wasted about a minute with a accidental zip, and it looks like CasualTom has made his way through.
Okay, so this is an okay Heatman got right here with this Buster. Not so much the conveyor belt. But down it goes just the same. As that is 4 for Prodigy, as they'll move on to Quickman stage. Oh, and there's that theme again. Who knows, maybe you'll get Rainbow Road on Victory Road for you today, Frico.
Well, I think it's, public knowledge at this point that I am definitely a fan of the Crashman theme. So, you know, every stage I'm waiting, you know, those first couple seconds to see if I get treated to that particular piece of music. There's definitely a good number of bangers in the Randomizer soundtrack. I would definitely buy the CD if it were, you know, out at Walmart or something like that.
As Tom takes down Flashman in his room, gets item 1 for his troubles. Gonna move on to Airman stage next. So Tom, now having 2 items in tow, only has 1 whammy to go through left in Heatman stage, but that won't be prove a problem until we get there. Don't know where item 3 is just yet.
Well,
I think it might. It might be here in Quickman stage.
Well, that would be the only stage we've not seen the end of yet. And if item 3 is the only item we haven't seen, then yeah, it would have to be in the Quickman stage. So Prodigy again, you know, getting somewhat lucky with the item, finding 1 and 3 so far, whereas CasualTom has 1 and 2.
Yeah, Prodigy more lucky in a sense because he had item 1 to get through Heatman stage, and he'll use those items to his advantage when he eventually finds Crashman.
Well, he knows where Crashman stage is. In the beginning, he did utilize what I'm going to call the crab cake strategy of the quick resets to look for information on which bosses were hidden behind which windows.
Crab cake shuffle. Alright, Tom taking on Airman, who isn't exactly being a bro to Tom, but you know what? He goes down all the same with lemons to the face. As they'll move on to Heatman stage next. He has 3 remaining, much like Prodigy, as they are on their 5th stage with Bubbleman stage here. And I want to make this quick note right now, if everyone is paying attention to the tracker. Tom has the shorter stages, Prodigy has the longer stages to finish off before Wily stages. As Prodigy still has to go through both Woodman and Crashman stage, Tom will only have to get through Quickman and Metalman stage, so this is going to be an interesting race once again when we get to Wily stages. Prodigy is now going to take on Crashman in Bubble Room, and it's a pretty dumb crash, as generally the way Crashman works is when you fire a shot, he reacts to it by jumping. Definitely took several shots there for Crash to react. So, goodbye, Crashman. Moving on to Woodman stage next is Prodigy. As Tom is quickly coming up to the Heatman door, as Prodigy is now making their way through Woodman stage. Ooh, we got a full atomic fire, and sadly the hot dogs are immune to it. That makes me sad. I'm sad. Area down goes Quickman for Tom, as Prodigy is now halfway through Woodman stage. And much like earlier, the Fat Fiend giving Prodigy a bit of trouble here, as the toothpaste dispenser and that Fat Fiend are giving Prodigy just as much annoyance.
Yeah, both runners getting caught up on the same section in Woodman stage, but it's interesting to see how much time Prodigy has made up, you know, since he got that that zip and the immediate reset.
Yeah. Both runners entering their respective boss stores at the same time here now. As Prodigy is going to take on Huggles here in Woodman's room, as you'll see in a moment, as one of the random attributes of Bubbleman is sometimes he'll just follow you along the screen. Like that. We like to call that Huggles. But Prodigy takes down Bubbleman all the same, as he was Buster susceptible. And now moves on to their last stage in Crashman. Tom also has one more stage left, and that is Quickman stage. So folks, this is going to be a squeaker again, as we both runners are in their last Robot Master stage, with Wily stages looming around the corner again.
Well, CasualTom did make it out of the Wily stages first in Game 1. Unfortunately, it was only about a 5-second advantage, and as we saw, CasualTom was not able to consolidate on that advantage, as Prodigy, basically got a lead going into, I believe, Wily 2, and then just started slowly pulling away, bit by bit.
But regardless, it's still a squeaker as we move on. See if Tom makes the same judgment that he did with the first race, where he opted to take the time to find out what the wall weakness was in Wily 2, which was pretty much, in my opinion, all the difference in the world for that race.
Well, you could look back in the race and kind of go, was it this, was it that, was it the other thing? It's kind of drops in a bucket at the end, couple too many drops in the bucket, and, unfortunately it spills over.
As once again, Tom will be the first into Wily's stages, with Prodigy right behind him, as they are about to take down this middleman and crash room.
Alright, so it looks like 1827 we are confronted by the best eyebrows in gaming. Prodigy actually gonna lose a couple more seconds getting the item. So about a 10-second gap here, as we end up with round 2 of our little game. For those that may not have been here in Game 1, your mission, chat, should you choose to accept it. The Mecha Dragon, much like most everything else in the game, is randomized. Feel free to guess the main body color as well as the weapon that our runners will use to defeat the dragon. Let's see, I think I went first last time, so it would only be right if I went first this time. I am going to stick with my bubble lead, but I am going to switch it up, and I am going to go with the green dragon.
Alright. I'm going to go true blue here. Blue dragon, weak to bluster.
Alright.
Right on. I guess I'll go with the purple dragon then, and weak to the atomic fire.
I think that's a good weapon guess, considering our atomic heat this round is full charge right out the gate, so I think that's a good guess.
Well, at least our ladder climb is a little less precarious this time, with our runners
I mean,
super close to each other.
if only the tin cans moved to the right, not to the left.
Oh wow, something about a true blue dragon, I believe someone stated.
Well, we're about to find out and see if it's Buster.
Oh, unfortunately not getting the double.
You
it's
got
the
your
bubble
wish.
lead.
That's an arc.
Oh, and crash bombs.
Oh, so Prodigy stealing away the lead, finding the crash bomb on the Mega Dragon as CasualTom continues to slog through the fight, getting the last couple hits with the bubble lead, and the dragon is just having none of it.
It's because you gotta let that dragon. You gotta let that dragon come to you. You can't be firing it from the top. It'll just stand back, especially with that terrible bubble.
Yeah, the arc on that bubble was anything but kind, and unfortunately, CasualTom. History seems to be repeating itself as CasualTom loses his lead going into Wily 2 after holding a lead going into, Wily 1. Just unfortunate.
And we found ourselves some good old atomic cocks.
Yeah. A local term is, no, I don't even think I can say that. This is a family show. But CasualTom at least did learn his lesson, not checking the wall weakness. So not stopping for one of his many pit stops here. Ooh, CasualTom thought about throwing a leaf shield, going with the air shooter, that doesn't... Oh, bubble lead. Throwing out a couple blockers, just paving the way through the Angry Chicken Buffet here.
Now, real quick, I know you were looking over there. Prodigy did try leaf shield on Pico there, but it was not a one-hitter quitter, so we looked elsewhere and we found ourselves Metal Blade.
Yeah, Metal Blade, yeah, Leaf Shield, when it's not a one-hit, is not exactly the best option.
Well, you might notice that the metal blade is slower vertically than it is horizontally.
Yeah, that is one of the randomized properties. I believe the angle up or down is also randomized. As we see these very slow metal blades being shot upward from Prodigy. But unfortunately for CasualTom, this looks like Prodigy's going to extend his lead after starting from an almost 2-minute deficit, hitting a couple snags at the start of the race.
That's what you would call a flex, really.
Well, CasualTom just unfortunately, it feels like he could be doing a little better, but, Prodigy hasn't exactly been clean either. CasualTom just unable to capitalize on it. What, could have been about a 30 to 45 second advantage in the Robot Master stages going into Wily 1 ended up about 10 seconds.
That considers probably a bit of more on the luck side, as Tom found Bubble, but Prodigy found Crash, which made the fight much faster against the Dragon.
Oh, very true. CasualTom, like we stated before, unfortunately, just has no luck when it comes to finding that Crashman stage. And that's really where a lot of his lead was lost, and it's not entirely, anything that is his fault, as Prodigy makes his way through the Guts Dozer, and CasualTom starting on the boss as Prodigy makes his way into Wily 4.
Yeah, Prodigy ended up finding a atomic heat for that Guts Dozer. As Tom goes through the same cycle that Prodigy just went through, I don't think they'll find fire. And I was right. They found Leaf Shield.
Wow. All right. Well, going for the alternate weakness as Prodigy tests where the false floors are in this particular section of Wily 4, there are 2 pitfalls in that first screen, and there is 1 pitfall in this screen where Prodigy is, although I think he's sort of figured out the meta strategy of hopping in between the platform, allowing him to progress no matter which one of the floors ends up being the false floor.
Prodigy has like a half-stage lead at this point. Barring any errors happening here in a moment, will be first of our runners into free fights here in match 2. Alright, into the moving fight we go. I don't think we found the wall weakness yet, so this could be an adventure, and it's not Leaf Shield. How about Metal?
No, that's a negative.
On both of those,
seem to be effective on the turrets either. No crash bomb.
No.
Well, this is the best possible situation for CasualTom, as Prodigy, taking some time to figure out the wall weakness. So if it looks like CasualTom's gonna try out usual suspects as well.
It's a Buster weak to Boo Beam. He hasn't tried Buster. There we go.
Alright, well, it looks like CasualTom, unfortunately not able to capitalize on the potential, gap that was afforded. If CasualTom were able to find the charged heat quicker than Prodigy, well, he did at least find the Buster faster.
Yeah, so he'll make up some ground here.
You can see in CasualTom's movements, it feels like he
knows he feels
jittery.
Behind. He feels behind.
He's behind, and he kind of knows it at this point. You can see that he's rushing his inputs as Prodigy, about to finish off his second Robot Master, CasualTom getting a very, very kind Airman.
Yeah, he is growing up. As Tom now moves on to Quickman next.
Alright, so the race is on. CasualTom starting his third Robot Master. It should go fairly quickly, and Crashman losing a little time there, walking away from the portal at the left side of the screen. I think I would have tried to keep Crashman on the left side of the screen.
Well, I would have stayed on the left side of the screen anyway because it was a dumb crash, but either way. Tom and Prodigy having high fives there, as Prodigy has 3 left, including this crash, and Tom has 4. As you see there, that's what I would have done on Prodigy's screen, is just stayed up by the border at the portal since it was a dumb crash.
Yeah, that just, it feels like these little mistakes from CasualTom are what seem to be adding up and, turning into a roadblock to potential victory as CasualTom takes down Metal Man.
Oh,
He's only one Robot Master behind.
They're got the same number of Robot Masters in 2. I honestly would have switched to Metal here with this Flashman and juggled him, since we don't know exactly what its weakness is, but we would have at least been able to stay right on the portal.
Oh.
Yeah, that would have been faster.
Alright, our resident expert, Mega Kyle, our third place finisher, chiming in with some good knowledge there. Confirming the Siberian Bull strategy of trying to juggle with the Metal Blade.
Yeah, and if you want to juggle Flashman, make sure you're against a wall, because he'll jump over your head and go the other way.
Alright, well, Prodigy dropping down into Victory Road again with a significant advantage. CasualTom picking up the weapon energy, which again seems to be, just these minor little mistakes. Well, not even mistakes, but just roadblocks. I'm not really sure what to call it. But it's just, it feels like it's not the optimal strategy for going fast.
Alright, well, we're gonna go weakness on him, and fortunately for Prodigy, it's not a heat weakness, as he only had one shot of it.
Yeah, that would have been unfortunate. It would have forced him to take a death and pick up the item energy that was on the left side of the screen. Prodigy finding the quick boomerang and a win in Game 2 of the finals. So Prodigy will take a 2-0 lead here as CasualTom again making it to the alien, but unfortunately not quickly enough. So get those GGs going. Prodigy on game point, championship point even, in our match, as CasualTom finds the boomerang and should be done. There we go, CasualTom finishing up.
And just to give folks an idea of what the SRL times are, we got Prodigy finishing once again first with 31:49, Tom finishing up in second, 32:27. And just for quick maths, that's 40 seconds, folks.
Yeah, that, I think that 40 seconds, that's about three elevator rides in Crashman, without an item 1 or 3 to help you through, taking the long way around. That seems to be just the difference between, CasualTom and a much closer race, possibly even victory. Looks like we have a CasualTom supporter in the chat, as definitely get in there, show some support for your favorite runner or even runners. As a commentator, I have to call it right down the middle, but I do have my favorite. Prodigy and I have been good friends for years now, so, underneath I'm kind of, go, Prodigy, go! Go, Prodigy, go! But, I do try to call it down the middle.
Or better yet, if you're a fan of this randomizer, you should consider joining the community, as we generally weekly on Sunday nights have weekly community races starting at 10 p.m. Eastern. Check your local times for community races, so you should definitely join us every Sunday night. As both our runners are getting set up here for Game 3 of this best of 5. This is, right now, championship point for Prodigy, as all your base do believe belong to us. So as we are getting set up here for Game 3, we're coming to the end of this tournament, aren't we?
Well, you never know. If CasualTom can avoid the third stage Crashman setback, you know, we could have ourselves a race. Prodigy has been less than clean, running into a couple issues even in the second seed, which put him about 2 minutes behind, but able to execute and run it back, taking the win. If Prodigy can execute to the level that I believe Prodigy can execute, good luck, CasualTom. But, I don't think we've seen CasualTom's best either. So, it's really going to be a matter of, will CasualTom, with his back to the wall here, down 2 games, staring down championship point, will that fire kind of, light up? And, you never want to corner a wolf. What happens when you corner a wolf? They get desperate, they lash out, they become, something far more dangerous than, what they would be under normal circumstances. If Tom can find his inner wolf, maybe we see a 2-1 series. Yeah, you gotta take it 1 game at a time if you're CasualTom at this point. You can't run it back and win 3-2 unless you win Game 3. Then you can worry about Game 4. And if we get there, then you get a Game 5. There's just no way in this randomizer that I would just say, yup, Prodigy's done. We're, crown him. Knock on the fat lady's door, get her ready to sing. This one's over. Prodigy's just gonna blow CasualTom out in Game 3. It could happen, but it is a randomizer after all, so you just never know when it comes down to it.
By the way, our runners have been given the green light, so Game 3 is about to start really quickly here. Once again, let's thank SpeedGaming for hosting this tournament. Hosting us, hosting everybody here, hosting us for this year 2020. Want to thank, real quick, before this really gets underway, want to thank Charlie Boy for setting up this tournament, as he's done for the past couple years, allowing us to have a place to do it. Want to thank my co-commentator Frico for being the ever professional that he is. Want to thank Spade Call for doing the tracking, doing the commentary, and I'm Siberian Bull 9, and I'm just here.